What's up, guys? It's your boy Marquell, and today is episode 3 of Pressure to Diamonds, and we're here with Casey, the owner of Fix It All and Adjuster Crown, right?
Yeah, and
Yes, sir.
legacy and black box business solutions now. So
Okay.
lots of projects.
Lots of projects, lots of going on. Yeah. So, kind of before we get into the questions here, kind of just tell the viewers a little bit more about yourself and kind of like what you do. I mean, with you can go with all your projects or the main ones. Up to you.
Yeah. Yeah. So Case Bernard, I not born but raised in Mandan, North Dakota. I've been Bismarck Mandan obviously since the second grade. Actually wanted to go into culinary chef, culinary cooking school, and I kind of came to the point where it was an internship, and I had to make a decision whether I go to Minneapolis, Seattle, or New York. And I decided that I wanted to stay here and represent North Dakota. I knew that there was only line cooking opportunities at that point, not really culinary. So
Mhm.
shifted back, and Dad was always framing houses and fixing things. So it was like, know, I was naturally drawn to the trades, as I always helped without that. I started doing some property management for a company here in Bismarck, Mandan, and found that I enjoyed the property management, but I didn't enjoy that company. So I kind of decided that I wanted to start my own thing. This was in fall of or spring of 2019. So I started to do some unit turns, and I started a business called Fix It All. After I started that shortly into the fall, I basically worked just solo owner operator, basically just doing make readies and maintenance for a few property management companies. And then I went in to get a website that spring, and I went to the this Design Wizards, and we had a meeting about how the website was going to look. I had some home maintenance things. I kind of had a lot of stuff that I wanted to add value to people. And what it ended up happening was that guy who was going to do my website asked me to go into business with him.
Mm.
And then he told me that he wanted nothing to do with the construction side of things, only the property management
Yeah.
and the home maintenance thing. So we started two other companies, one called Legacy Home Services, which now has disintegrated, and I incorporated that into Fix It All. And then the other one is Legacy Property Solutions, which was property management.
Okay.
I had this guy, Bill, who I'd been talking to. We'd seen each other at parties. My sister was actually dating his brother, and he had some properties and he needed help with the maintenance side of things. So me and him started talking, and then he bought out my business partner. So Legacy, I own 50-50 with Bill, and then Fix It All, I own 100% solo.
Okay.
Both of them kind of started in 2019 to the day of this recording. That's where October will be going on 6 years, 7 years, whatever it is. I basically ran and operated like most contractors or most business owners do. We have a dream, we have grit, we have discipline, we have motivation, we have all these things, right?
Yeah.
But we're missing that little bit of business skill. And one day I was out mowing my lawn, and I have a bunch of playlists. I like rap, I like rock, I like country music, I like
Sure.
so dad always said variety was the spice of life. So
Yep. Yep.
but I'm this particular day I'm scrolling through my playlist and I can't find anything. And it's like, let me click on this little purple application here on the iPhone that I've never clicked on, which was podcast. So I clicked on that and I was like, well, what's interesting? And I typed in like tradesman or something like that. And this tradesman experience app came up, and it was Josh Hewitt out of Nevada. So I
Okay.
plugged that in and I'm mowing the lawn, which takes about 2 hours, 3 hours. So I got 3 episodes done mowing
Nice.
the lawn, and my mind was absolutely blown. It was like all these things that you think about that like this could be better, this way, and it was just coming out. It was these two guys having a glass of whiskey, talking about trade business and just how to elevate it and all this stuff. And it was just an authentic conversation, and I like instantly fell in love with self growth,
Right.
and it ignited something in me that is still going today. And since then, I've invested over $150,000 into business coaching, and every single chance I get to learn or consume content, I'm constantly doing that. Sunday, I meal prep for the week, prep all my stuff. I got the little TV over in the corner. I got YouTube on with
Yeah.
some sort of leadership, business, accounting, finance, marketing, whatever the
Yeah.
topic is, whatever the flavor of the week is. And I
Mm-hmm.
just have that playing for 6 hours. So I'm constantly consuming things to better myself.
Right.
Um, One of the things that Josh told me, I don't remember it was Josh. Actually, I shouldn't say Josh. I don't know, but I heard something, and it was high performing people need high performing leaders. And
Mm.
for some reason, that always stuck with me. And it's like, I want to build something amazing, right? I want to build a
Yeah.
culture that the clients want to be a part of. I want to build a culture that the team wants to be a part of, because you can do good things alone, Markel,
Yep.
but you can do great things with a team.
Yep.
And when you can
Right.
instill a culture of that and you want high performing people, you need to be a high performing leader. And I think that's what has instilled the quality of relentless improvement into me and
Mm.
some of the principles. Now you mentioned Adjust Your Crown, and then I mentioned Black Boss Blocks Business Solutions. Adjust Your Crown kind of started off as my coaching brand. It's now kind of more morphed into a podcast and kind of just a personal podcast brand.
Yeah.
Um, One of my coaches, Steve Rosenberg, he's from Houston, back in April, middle of April. No, actually, it was March. Jesus, it was the end of March. He got me on a call and was like, "Hey, man, like, I could really use not some help, but you're a good fit for this accountability coach for my program, and wondering if you're interested." And it's like, I've been doing speaking events once a month with Ryan, and helping him with a few clients. He presented this opportunity to me, and I said yes.
Mm.
So we're in the middle of a rebrand. It used to be the Rosenberg Group, but now it's going to be Black Box Business Solutions. So it's nationwide, and right now I'm helping about 48, mostly tradesmen, but 48 business owners with their businesses right now currently.
Nice.
um, Today I have six calls with yours, so it's
Okay.
busy, but I enjoy it. I love it. I've developed a team with Legacy and Fix It All where I've got freedom with it. So
Yeah.
now it's just on the point of giving back and helping others get to that freedom. But yeah, a long-winded intro, but I just wanted to give you all the context.
Yeah. Give us the context. Give us all. Yep. Give us all the insights. I like that. I like that a lot. All right. I appreciate that, man. You're doing a lot of things, and everybody sees it. 100%. You're doing a lot of stuff. You're exceeding, and it's just never ending learning. You know what I'm saying? To better yourself, and that's always awesome. And my first question is, what was there a moment you almost quit, but what made you keep going?
It happens a lot, and I'm in that moment right now, and I think what it is fear.
Mm,
And there's this fear because we're going into unknown things, right? And I think as a business owner and a leader, we reach this point where we get really good at what we're doing.
yeah.
And in order to change, in order to grow, in order to elevate, in order to get better, you have to do things differently. Input equals output. And that's with everything in your life. If you don't like the output of something, you have to change the input. There's
Hmm.
no other way to get a different output but to change the input.
Yeah.
And, when I first got the team and first started getting them dialed in, I had so much freedom that I didn't know what to do with my hands. I was like, I don't even know what to do anymore because the team took all my tasks. And it was up to me to figure out what I needed to do, what skill set I needed to get better. That's another piece to this, Markel, is, I think I'm a strong believer that everyone is destined to do greatness. Like every
Yeah.
one of us, all your listeners, everyone is destined to do greatness. But the story that we tell ourselves is what's crippling us.
Mhm.
We are the director, we're the producer, we're the writer of our own story. We justify our own story all day, every day, whether it's positive or negative. It's this noise in our head that cripples us, right?
Yeah.
And it's not that you can't do it, Markel. It's just you need to learn a new skill set. Need to learn something new, right? Like,
Yeah.
when it got to, it's like, oh, operations. First, it started out with doing the thing, right? Doing the
Yeah.
skill. Let's protect that. Now it's like, oh, now I got to build culture. Now I got to build my leadership skills. Oh, guess what? I need marketing. Now I got to go learn marketing. Now I got to go learn sales. So you start to, now I need to know how to read my numbers, right? So you have to learn
Yeah.
all this. No one's come to save you. You have to take it upon yourself to skill stack and develop these sets to make yourself better. So
Yeah.
every time, going back to your question, every time that I've learned a little bit and it's relieved that pressure, that fear, and it puts you into the spot of unknown, like, I think that's where people give up because it's easy to go back to what you know. It's easy to go
Exactly.
back to your
Exactly.
comfort
Yeah. Yep.
because you're comfortable with it, right? It's harder
Right.
to push through that fear and go into some unknown territory and make that work, right? So
Mhm.
that's, to me, that's the biggest thing is just, and I'm going through it right now with this coaching thing. And it's like, now it's like, I need to look at, getting a COO for Fix It All, like someone that come in and run the company.
Mm.
And, so it's like, just that whole part alone is like, that's just a whole nother thing. I'm learning more and more about, understanding numbers and budgeting and forecasting. And then now all of a sudden you elevate to the point where it's like, okay, there's different levels of business, right? You start off and for the most part, you own a job, right?
Mhm.
Because you have to be there. It doesn't run without you. That's a job. You don't own a
Yeah.
business, you own a job. Then all of a sudden you start owning a business where you can start delegating a little bit. Then you start owning a company, which starts have a little bit of structure, right? Then you
Mhm.
start owning an organization. And to me, when you get to that organizational maturity level, now you have a sellable asset. Like
Mm.
someone can come and buy that from you
Yeah.
and it runs completely without you. They're buying an organization, right? And
Yeah.
I'm in that company stage where I need to level up to the organization.
Right.
And the fear part comes into, I don't know what that looks like. So now
Mm.
it's this other skill set that I have to develop in order to push through to that next step, right? And
Yeah.
then to the second piece to answer your question would be, I don't think that people are negative, but I do think that there's this crab in the bucket feel, where success is lonely. Like,
Yeah.
it's not that I'm not enjoying the ride, Markel, but I'm not down at the bar hanging with all the guys. I'm not down watching the game, eating wings, drinking beer with all the boys. That's like,
Mhm.
I'm on another level, and it's not that I'm better than them or that they're worse than me, but there's this I don't want to say hate, but there's this unpleasant, lonely feeling that you have to deal with, of this crab in the bucket sensation of people wanting to pull back down to their comfort level, that
Right.
at some point you have to push through and just deal with it and face that fear, right?
Yeah.
So
100%.
yeah, I feel it, like, every time I level up, every time I quarter, I've felt it. And I know, and just when I said I'm going through it right now, just this last week, it's like, your schedule shouldn't look the same, Markel. If your
Mm.
schedule looks the same as it did 6 months ago, you're not growing. If you're still
Right.
having the same meetings, if you're still doing the same things, like, you're not pushing yourself through that fear and growing, right? So
Right.
it's like, my schedule completely changed. BNI has been great. I just quit BNI because I needed some more time. Not that it
Mm.
wasn't important, but it was like I just had other things that I needed at time.
Yeah. The attention.
Sometimes it's not what you add, but what you delete, right? Sometimes
Right.
you have to delete things out of your life. So again, long-winded, but that's kind of
Yeah.
my answer
That's
to that.
Yeah, you're good. I appreciate all that. That's all. We soaking it in. We soaking it in right now. All right. So my second question. Oh, basically, what does discipline look like for you when nobody's watching?
I love this one. This
Mm.
is something that I've actually noticed in the last year or so. I think I've always had motivation. I think I've always had that. But discipline to me is doing the things that you don't see the results for a while, meaning
Mm.
like 6 months to a year. So it's doing the things, and continuing consistently doing the things that aren't exactly fun. I mean, the way you look at it could be fun. Like, I enjoy what I do. Like, it's not miserable to me, But for someone else, it might not be fun to sit there and watch a YouTube video on learning AI. That might not be fun to someone. But
Right.
the discipline, yeah, it's doing the uncomfortable things and not seeing results for. And the cool part is once you stick with something and you start seeing it,
Mm-hmm.
and to me, it's usually about 6 months to a year before you start seeing results, like consistently doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And what's even crazier, if you want better results, you even have to be more consistent. And to the person who's saying, "Well, I can't stay consistent," it's like, let me use the analogy of eating good, right? Because
Yeah.
everyone can kind of relate to that. Markel, you're like, you wake up, you're like, man, I'm gonna hit it hard. I'm weighing out, I'm meal prepping, I'm weighing out my chicken, I'm weighing out my rice, I'm eating clean, and you do it for a week, do it for 2 weeks, maybe. Some
Mm-hmm.
people even push it to the third week, and you're like, man, I don't look like Zac Efron. I don't have the abs. I don't like, and so you slowly start slipping back to like, all right, well, it's all right. I can go out to eat. I can do this. That's what I'm
Right.
talking about, consistent. So we go back to our old ways.
Mm-hmm.
And for those that say I can't be consistent, you can be consistent because you're consistently not eating good. You know, it's a mind. It's just all it
Yep.
is a mind. You're consistently eating bad. So yeah,
Exactly.
you can be consistent. It's just the decisions you're making with it, right?
100%.
But yeah,
100%.
I started noticing, I've been to the gym for 4 years now. And when I go back to the input equals output, when you
Yeah.
start doing the same exercises and you're not eating right, right? You eat really clean for the week and then the weekends here, and now you go have drinks and you go out to eat and you go all this stuff, and it just reverses all that work that you did. But once you can kind of push through some of that stuff and get consistent results, it's almost addicting to start seeing the results of 6 months of work. And that's what I have been noticing in the last year or so. It's like, all the effort that you put in, um, and it comes back 6 months after. It's like it's rewarding. There's a sense of fulfillment, and I think that's what's kind of addicting to what the path I'm on right now.
I like that. All right. I hope my listeners right now are paying attention. Shoot. It's a straight goal right here. All right. Next question. What's something you learned about money that school never taught you?
I don't know that it's so much about money. Maybe you might ask this question later, but
Hmm.
time. It's time is what it boils down to. Uh, I don't know if you've read or heard the book "Buy Back Your Time" by Dan Martell,
I
but
heard about it. I heard about it. Yeah.
if you haven't read that one, check that out or check him out on YouTube. But basically, to sum it all up, there's a lot to it, obviously, but to sum it all up is my analogy or how we were talking about me mowing the lawn.
Yeah.
Like we think we're saving money by going out and mowing that lawn, right? So it's like
Yeah.
that's 3 hours of my time and I'm losing it not doing the productive. So I look at it this way as tiers. There's 3 tiers and you can fill in whatever number you want to use applicable to you. But
Right.
let's just say tier one is $25 an hour tasks, tier two is $50 an hour tasks, and tier three is $100 an hour tasks. As a business owner and a leader, the quicker you can stop doing the $25 an hour tasks and pay someone to do those $25 an hour tasks, the
Hmm.
quicker that you have more time to do the $50 an hour tasks. Like
Mm.
checking email, you can get a virtual assistant for 10 to $20 an hour. That's it. That's all the cost to do emails, to correspond with stuff. The emails is one of the ones that's like some people are spending hours on emails or they're distracted by their emails, right? And it's just
Right.
costing them a lot of money. So that's kind of how it relates to the money aspect is I've just been people devalue their time, right? They
Right.
devalue their time a lot. I think me and you have had this conversation too, but people just don't respect their time and what it's worth. And then more of the financial piece is one thing that I've learned is, yeah, you built this credit up, you built all this stuff up, and you can get a loan. But every time you get a loan, and every time you borrow money, and every time you do all that, you're you're borrowing from the future. So you're
Mm.
actually spending the future's money. And the more you do that, the more it takes this snowball effect for you to start adding up to getting that. Like, yeah,
I see
Markel,
it.
I could go right now down to Schwann GMC. I have the credit, I could afford it, and I could go buy the brand new 2027 white GMC Denali, just maxed out, and have
Yeah.
that $1,500 payment and $600. But now I just borrowed $100,000 for my future, right?
Mm,
So that's kind of one of the big ones, is the time, and then just borrowing money from the future.
I see. Okay. Okay. That's good. I like that. I like that. A lot of people don't even understand that, but you broke
Well,
it
we're
down.
we're we're reactive. It's like we wait at the end of the month
Hmm.
until, and this is one thing that I've learned just recently about a lot of these successful people, just being around them. One of the
Hmm.
opportunities, and I'm not trying to sound whatever, but like just being in a room full of like millionaires and multimillionaires, and just their behaviors and how they think, and all that stuff, it's just different, right?
Yeah.
And if Markel, if you want to be a millionaire, you got to change and I'm not saying you have this, but you have to change that $50,000 an hour employee mindset. It's a
Right.
mindset that you have to change. And
Right.
uh, kind of forgot where I was going with that, but anyway, getting around these guys, one thing, or I got it. One thing that I have picked up on is they all have a future target, a very detailed future target, and then
Mhm.
they backtrack from that. See, we're very vague today, and we're very reactive, meaning
Mhm.
we go to the mailbox at the end of the month. Here's our bills. This is what's left in my account. I pay my bills. And then it's this never ending rat race, right? Where it's like
Mhm.
next month, I know what I get paid. I go have fun. I go to this birthday party. I go out, have fun with him. I go do this. Oh, here's a new pair of Jordans. These look nice. I'll take these. And
Mhm.
then at the end of the month, here's the money that's left. You get all the bills. Oh, I got to write out all my bills, right? There's none of this future forecasting. There's none of this looking ahead.
Mhm. I
This
see what you're
this
saying.
we don't ever look ahead. It's always just this reactive to what's going on, and that's what I've really picked up on a lot of these successful people, is they have a destination.
Right.
Look at it like this. Look at it like Google Maps, right? If you were to go to Fargo and you were to go to this Mia Mexico and Fargo or wherever, you would probably need to enter that into Google Maps. I'm assuming, right? Or do you know where that is?
Nah.
Okay.
I'll put that in the maps.
And then what do you get? You get the destination, you get
Mhm.
where you're currently at, and then it builds the route how to get there.
Yep.
And now it's take a left here, take a right here. Today, how the human works is we're trying to be a millionaire, but we don't have a map. We're just wandering the streets. We have
Right.
no we have
No
no
plan,
direction,
no structure, no, yeah,
no
just like
nothing. We don't
hoping.
write any of that down.
Yeah.
Jason Cisneros, he owns a company called Built to Exit, and he's actually on my podcast this Friday, which I cannot believe he said yes. He's amazing, but
Nice.
uh, he basically is helped build and exit like over 26 companies. But this dude's crazy. He was up on stage. I got to see him at this Mach 5 event, but he had everyone. He said, "Raise your hand if you know what your freedom number is,"
Mm.
and no one in the crowd raised their hand. And he goes,
Some of
"Does
them probably didn't know
anyone?"
what he was talking about.
And everyone's like, "Does anyone know what a freedom number is?
Exactly.
Do you know a freedom number?"
Me, when I think of freedom number, it's like, what is that number for you to like do whatever you want, like retirement, basically. You know
That's
what I
it.
mean? That's
So
what it is to me.
he's like, yeah, it's figuring out what you would need to make to pay all your bills,
Hmm.
live the life you want to live, go on vacation, do whatever you got to do. What is that
Yep.
number? That's
Yep.
the destination. Now
Yep.
backtrack how you that needs to happen.
Exactly.
And then he kind of drilled that point through. And then the next point was like, okay, there's another piece to this. There's a second freedom number. And
Mhm.
the second level of freedom number is when you can give back.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and
Okay.
he goes, I've reached my second freedom number. And how I give back is I go down to Mexico on these events or these missions, and I rescue kids from child slavery.
Mm.
And there's a movie that got released. I think it's The Sound of Freedom or something.
Hmm.
But that guy is the dude he goes down there with. So it costs
Oh, that's
about
dope.
$5,000 per kid to rescue.
Yeah.
And the last mission he went on was like he rescued 42 children and put 11 people away. but that's what he does to give back. So it's a
That's
different
solid.
way of thinking, and it's kind of
Yeah.
cool once you start thinking, I need the destination, and then you can start, peeling back the onion, if you will, or
Yeah. Yeah.
developing that roadmap on how to get there. And now you can break that down into day, you can break that down into week, quarter, month, however you want to break it down, and
Yeah.
now you have a goal, you have something to work for, right?
Uh-huh. 100%. I like that a lot. So our next question here is if your younger self was sitting in front of you right now, what would you tell him?
Exactly what I just told you. Make a
Exactly what
plan.
you told me. Okay, okay.
Just that
Yeah.
whole last spiel, that's exactly what I would
Mm,
explain to my younger self, is like, make a plan. You know what? I
yeah.
just Memorial Day, we had a cookout for my dad on Saturday, and my nephew was there. I think he's 16. He's right around, I think he's 16. But we were sitting around the campfire, and I just started telling him basically that same story. And it's like, I never had anyone to tell me that. And it's not
Right.
that I discredit my parents, because if they would have told me, I wouldn't be where I am today. So
100%. Yeah.
I don't want to go back and change anything, but I think that's where it comes with me trying to give back. It's like, if I can get a younger person to grasp this concept a lot sooner than I did, they're going to
Hmm.
be a lot farther along than I got. Well, I
Exactly.
shouldn't say that way, but I
Yeah,
just,
but
like,
I get
to
what
me,
you mean.
it's just having that
Start
plan a little sooner. Like,
starting early. So that's it's all just starting early is a powerful thing within itself in any
yeah,
aspect. So,
I
mhm.
mean, Alex Hermosi uses the analogy where it's like, he wasn't out partying in his 20s. You know,
Mhm.
unfortunately for me, I was partying into my almost 30s. I didn't pull my head on my ass till I was 28. So I had some catching up to do, is why I invested into coaching. Is that's the result. Would I have
Right.
learned all this business stuff? Yes. How long would it have taken me? I don't know, 15, 20 years. I basically bought back my time by investing in myself.
Right.
Like, someone else already did that, and to have a mentor and coach to teach you that thing and get the time back, that was the idea. But yeah,
Right.
the I mean, he going back to the Alex thing, he didn't party in his 20s. He developed skill sets, which made him a skilled 30-year-old.
Mm.
Some of us are either skilled 30-year-old or they're experienced 30-year-old, meaning they partied and went and had fun and all that stuff, right? So if you break it down into those decades, it's like, I just turned 40, and now I want to be I want to put as much content as I can so I can be a very skilled 50-year-old. Make sense? I,
Yeah.
you know, I partied in my 20s, so I was an experienced 30-year-old. Partied in my 30s, so now I'm in my 40s, where it was like, okay, now I'm an experienced 40-year-old. But when are you going to develop the skill set? Make sense?
Exactly.
So
Yeah. No, I get it. Okay.
that's what I would tell my younger self. Start a little sooner.
There you go. All right. Our last and final question, kind of, probably get the same answer, but just in a few words, what's one piece of advice you would leave with the people watching this video, like something that they can do today or soon? What's one piece of advice you would give to these guys?
Well, I think one thing that I see with a lot of business owners and leaders that I work with is we try to hold everything in our mind, and our brains aren't designed for that. There's some natural things that our brain are naturally wired for that we
Mm,
actually use against us. That if we could actually break these down, it could make things a lot more simple for people. I'm not saying easy, because life isn't easy, but it can make things simple.
right.
And two things would be: number one, our brains are not designed to remember shit. So we go around and we think about all this stuff, right? We think about, oh, I got to do this. I got to go do this. I got to go do this. And it's these little short bursts of memories that we have of certain to dos and tasks that we have, right?
Yep. Yep.
And you probably know what I'm talking about. And because I'm guilty of it sometimes too. But when I say our brains aren't designed to remember shit, you're chewing into your bandwidth and your energy. You
Mm,
only have so much bandwidth for the day. And when you're sitting here trying to remember all your to-dos and stuff, you're actually stealing from potential true focused work. So with all the notifications and all the distractions and all the things going on, we just try to remember everything, and it's
Right.
just overwhelming. We get in this hamster wheel where we can't get out and we can't start knocking these little to-do lists off. Number one, if it takes 2 minutes, just do it. 2 minute
Right.
kill. If it takes under 2 minutes, just do it. Do the task. Don't even worry about remembering it. Don't put it on a to-do list, nothing. But where I'm going with this is use your reminders app, use your to-do apps, whatever you want to do. There's tons out there. There's project management, but even last night, I've had all this stuff. Like I said, I'm going through a little change here, a little level up. So last
Mhm.
night I'm laying there and I'm starting to think about this shit. And like when I lay awake, which is rare, but when I lay awake and start thinking anything, that's a number one cue that you have too much shit you're trying to think about. So
Right.
what I do is I just wake up, I grab my phone, go to my to-do list, which I have organized into all the buckets, and I just start throwing them onto the to-dos. Now I don't have to remember that. I can look at the list
Look at it.
and
Yep.
strategically start pulling stuff off to do, right?
Yep.
And it's really helped my bandwidth. I have all these projects and it's like, how does this guy do all this? This is one of the secrets is by staying
Yeah.
organized with what needs to happen and being intentional with doing that. I
Okay.
think a lot of us are busy just being busy. Like we're just doing busy things, but we're not ever moving the needle.
Mhm.
Markel, the only way you're going to get ahead is by doing tomorrow's work. If
Right.
all you're doing is clocking in today and doing what needs to happen today and just doing the day to day of what you know that needs to happen, if that's all you're doing, you're never going to get ahead because you're never going to do the tomorrow's work
Right.
because tomorrow's work is going to continue piling on, right? So you
Right.
have to get to this point where you're starting to work on tomorrow's work, and that's how you get ahead.
Okay. All
And
right.
then the last piece to just add to that would be the calendar. I
Yeah.
think we
Yeah.
disrespect our time and just protect your calendar, look at it, review, audit,
What is it?
schedule things
Utilize it.
out.
Mhm.
We're just busy being busy, and you can be a lot more productive just by doing these couple little things.
100%.
And then
Okay.
have a plan, which I
Yep.
hit
What you
on
already
pretty hard.
what you
Plan.
already said. Yep.
Have a plan,
Have
and
a plan.
the
Have a
world is yours, as the great Tony Montana used to say.
plan. Yes, sir. All right. All right. I appreciate you, taking the time in today and be able to answer these questions and be able to inspire whoever's watching. I'm going to go ahead and end it all. Once again, guys, this is Casey Bernard, owner of Fix It All, Adjust Your Crown, Legacy Property Solutions, and Black Box, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir. So, again, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching, everybody. Your boy Marquell, aka Made, is out. I love you guys. Peace.